I love getting achievements. Over the past decade, it's become a big hobby of mine. Some might even call me a little obsessed. When I began actively hunting achievements, the only Sonic game I owned was Generations on my 360. And I'll be honest, I didn't care too much for it or Sonic at the time. Yeah, I get it, but times have changed. And now that I have a love for the franchise and a decently sized catalog of Sonic games, it got me wondering, what are the hardest achievements in the Sonic series? They couldn't be that hard, right? Looking through my collection of Sonic games, one really jumped out to me right away, mainly due to the sheer pain I remember it causing me. Now, love it or hate it because of the lack of physics, weird art style, uninspired menus, so on. Look, the point is, this game has a truly despicable achievement. The culprit in question, Sonic 4 Episode 1. The final achievement in this game is dubbed Untouchable, and as you may have guessed from the name alone, you're tasked with going through an entire level without being touched once.
Can't touch this.
Now, that doesn't sound too bad, right? The problem is, the specific level it wants you to go through is Egg Station Zone. This hellscape takes you through a boss rush of sorts where you're gonna face off against 4 bosses from the prior levels and a 5th final boss. Going through the entirety of this thing takes about 6 to 7 minutes, and you're gonna have to do it flawlessly. Get hit once, and your run is over, which really blows if you're at the final boss. I mean, I wouldn't know about that because that totally never happened to me. Early on, things aren't too bad, and the first boss is actually pretty easy, but as you go further on, the BS meter begins to rise. Now, the pinball stage can be beaten fast, but getting used to the paddle physics and the weird slopage of the arena can be rather annoying. And that's not even mentioning the hidden spikes in the center that are there just to screw you over. Of all the stages though, the third got on my nerves the most. This one looks, and probably is, very simple, but for whatever reason, I would get crushed or launched into Eggman so often. However, when I wasn't folding under pressure, the next stage was where I could either breeze by or fail quickly. Dodging these little bouncing Eggmen came down to RNG, and depending on what he threw, I would either finish the stage right away every time or be sent back to the menu. After all that is the main event, the return of the Death Egg robot from Sonic 2, but this time he's souped up a bit. Needless to say, if you die here, you might be missing some hair. The fight is pretty standard fare, but man, it feels like it takes an eternity to bring him down.
One eternity later.
Bro, how many hits can this guy take? Later on, he has some moves that can really throw you off. First is his annoying stomp that you'll have to learn to spin dash under, and towards the end of the fight, he'll begin tossing in some laser beams and energy balls. As annoying as this achievement is, it certainly isn't as bad as some of the others on the list. Isn't much faster than Sonic. He is the fastest thing alive after all. However, the Staff Ghost AI will push him to his limits. Now look, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed is one of the best kart racing games to this day, and I'll fight you on that. When I first started going after achievements in this game, I was having a pretty good time, but then I saw something rather alarming. Oh! The completion percentage for this game was sitting at less than 1%, and the achievement unlock ratios were very low. Yeah.
I'm in danger!
If you enjoy suffering though, you might just make it through this. The most grueling achievement in this game is Yokozuna. For this achievement, you're tasked with beating every Staff Ghost in the game. Again, it doesn't sound too bad at first, right? After beating the easy, medium, and hard AI, you're put up against the Big Daddy Expert AI, which means you're gonna learn the hard way why this achievement has such a low unlock percentage. Now, these expert level ghosts gotta have the speed force in them, because they move at a speed that's basically the equivalent of me running to the bathroom after eating a Taco Bell cravings box. Trust me, nothing is stopping them. Some of these courses took me days on end to master, and only then was I able to beat the ghost by mere milliseconds. Given that you have to beat all these ghosts on 20 different stages, it's gonna take some time. If you choose to go after this achievement, like, let me know. Are you okay? Do you need to see a therapist? Up until playing Sonic Frontiers, Sonic Generations was my favorite Sonic game. Almost everything about this game is just mwah, perfect. You know, except for the fact that it hardly has a story to it. After falling in love with the first Sonic movie, I went back to this game to clean up the remaining achievements. And for the most part, it was a pretty simple completion. And a lot of the achievements helped me understand the Sonic gameplay loop, like trying to stay high on the map and take secret and difficult paths to cut down time or get red rings. It was a really good experience that left me wanting more. The same, however, can't be said about the last achievement I went for. I swear, MC Hammer must work for Sonic Team because we have another achievement that wants us to go through the final level untouched, aptly named
You can't touch this.
The final boss of Generations is pretty cool. It's a giant time-eating mechanism controlled by none other than Eggman himself. The Time Eater's attacks on their own aren't too hard to dodge as they come at you rather slowly. The problem is the visual noise. There's tons of debris flying at you, as well as rings and missiles, and for me personally, seeing all of that against the weird purple background was a bit bothersome, but that's probably just due to my bad vision. These boss fights where you have to be perfect or risk restarting the level are a bit too tedious for me. It feels like I'm playing some sadistic Sonic Souls game. My hands get all sweaty and my cheeks are clenched up. In all seriousness, it's not the worst achievement out there, but after what was a fun and rewarding experience with all the other achievements in this game, this one sure left me on a sour note. This one has to take the cake for the hardest achievement. I've attempted it a few times, but haven't come around to fully committing to it just yet.
Skill issue.
My mental health can only take such a beating. Eggman Land is one of, if not the most infamous level in the history of Sonic games. It's easily the longest Sonic level there is, and can take anywhere from 30 minutes to up to an hour. For the hard-boiled achievement, you have to beat this level in 3 separate attempts, each with only 1 life. Now, before we dive into this more, let's take a look at what the True Achievements community had to say about this lovely achievement.
11 years on, and I still can't beat this level without dying.
Spent the last few months on the quest to 100% the Sonic series. Only a few games left, but I know this is absolutely gonna kill the run.
This is the hardest and most frustrating achievement to do on Sonic Unleashed. This is probably the most annoying achievement to get in this game. Everything that you've learned up to this point in Sonic Unleashed is gonna be tested. You'll be switching back and forth between Sonic and his Werehog form, and you're gonna have to precisely navigate through obstacles as both, while battling Eggman's forces and being under the pressure of the clock. Now, this is the kind of achievement where the tiniest mistake leads to you waking up on the floor after blacking out and finding your controller snapped in half like a Kit Kat bar. It doesn't help either that the platforming in Unleashed makes you feel like a geriatric trying to run a Ninja Warrior course. Being able to complete this achievement is a true testament to your patience above all else. As much as I love Sonic Unleashed, the achievement Hard Boiled boils my blood. To end this list, I'm grouping in every grindy collectathon achievement, excluding red rings. For some reason, Sonic games are chock full of collectibles, hidden behind difficult challenges, like getting all the gold medals in Sonic Mania by perfecting the bonus stages, or achieving all the emblems in the Sonic Adventure series. These grindy achievements will keep you playing for hours on end, but is it really worth it? Do I really gain anything of value by collecting every gold medal in a game like Sonic 06? That is by all means more broken than me after my first time watching Grave of the Fireflies. And as much as I adore Sonic Adventure 2, do I really need to A rank the same level 5 times? Learning a level and getting good at it is one thing, but at certain points, these achievements can feel like you're being punished for wanting to complete it. The only game here that actually rewards you for your suffering is Sonic Mania. Upon hitting certain milestones for collecting gold medals, you're rewarded bonus content in the game, driving up the player's incentive to go after this achievement. Collecting everything that these games want you to ends up taking hours at the player's expense, testing your mental fortitude as you grind away endlessly. Now, as much as it seems that I have disdain for these achievements, I still really love achievement hunting, especially when it comes to Sonic games. One goal of mine is to someday complete every Sonic game. though I imagine that is still very far off for now. Let me know in the comments what Sonic achievement or trophy has given you a hard time, if any, and if you like this video, make sure to check out this list of the most powerful heroes in the Sonic IDW comics. Thank you all for watching, until next time, peace.